Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from around the world. Alan from Wall Street to Easy Street. What we're going to look at here is kind of a recap of Friday, which there wasn't a whole lot of movement in the markets on Friday, but we're going to go over a little bit, kind of give you an idea of what I was looking at the majority of the day. Now, my trading generally starts around 8 o'clock in the morning, and I ended about 10:45. So I've marked on the chart here, this vertical red line is 8 o'clock, and over here is 10:45, and that's really about the extent of my trading. I've found that typically I end up with more losing trades than winners if I start trading after the 10:45, 11 o'clock frame. So I've made it a habit of stopping at 10:45. So this is basically a breakdown of the day, and we're going to spread this out a little bit now so we can see exactly what was going on in the markets. But this was my day right here from start to finish. Alright, the day started off with there's a first break setup right here. You can see it's a first break short entry, and it happened to pull back right to the moving average. You got the doji candle there at the top, for indecision, and then a nice bearish changing of the guard candle. So this would have been a nice trade here for anybody who took it. You could have got in here at this level, and plenty of room to come down here and profit. The stop in this case would have been right here, about 1 pip above this level. So in this case, if we would have took the trade here, and I probably would have jumped the gun a little bit because it's such a bearish candle, but in this area, stop would have been placed right about here. So plenty of room to the downside here for get a target area. Start locking in some pips. Market continued down. You can see our nice trend line heading down here, our moving average. Again, the market pulls back to the moving average. We've got some doji candles in here for indecision, and then once we break that doji candle, then we have another first break short. So these are first breaks because of you can see the higher lows all the way up on these candles. So that gave us a nice first break short here at the trend line. And again, I would have shorted right here at this level. Stop could have been nice and tight on this one. I actually would have went above this level. I'll show you here with get an arrow. So I would have entered right here, and our stop could easily went here, but I probably would have put my stop above that little top right there, just to make sure that I had enough outside of the volatility of the market. This would have been rather tight, but again, it would have worked out either way. Then as the market progressed on a little bit, this would have gave a nice profit coming down here. Got this little area congestion right here, and this you could have maybe taken as a like a block break short right here. I wouldn't have been against it. It would have ended up in a loss had you taken this as a block break short. Let me go ahead and mark that one just in case anybody did take it and they want to go back and check. Get all these equal lows across here. So this could have been a block break short. The entry would have been right here, and it would have got stopped out for a loss had somebody taken it. I didn't even see it, but somebody may have that trades the FPAS. So then we get into this area where we have news coming out, and my flags show up 5 minutes before the news, so I know that the news release is coming. So from this point until after the market settles down, there's no trading. So from about 5 minutes or 10 minutes prior to the news, we stop all trading. We don't want to get caught up in the middle of a trade just before a news release. So the market eventually settled down here. We got a double bottom here at the bottom where my two little squares are. Market starts to come back up. At this point here, the market had made a new low. A higher low. So this tells us, to be watching for a trend change. Our moving average did start turning back up. Once we got this higher low, the market came up, made a new high, new low, new higher high. So now we've definitely established our uptrend here. So when the market pulls back in here, this is equal lows. You see the two little squares I've got for equal lows. It's also a first break setup. So you could have went long right here, and it actually would have made for a pretty good long, because going long, you would have got in here at this level, and the stop would have been below here. So the stop would have been right about that level. And again, the market went back up, come back down, made another low. This is a little bit better first break setup than what this one was, because of the kind of equal bottoms here. Remember, we want our first break setups to be 40 to 60% of the prior move. So this one here does qualify for a first break setup, and it would have worked out real well. Had I took this one long, the entry would have been about that level. And there again, the stop would have been same as that one prior. Stop would have been in this general area here. But plenty of room to lock in some pips. If you managed to hang on to this first one, you done real well. Got in on the second first break setup. Either one, both went up for a nice little profit. Market continues up, made another high, made another lower, another higher low. So we're looking good. We got this little area of congestion here. Now this is a little block break area. So we've got a nice pullback, got some indecision candles going on right here. Then the market breaks out of this little block. So there was been a nice little block break long at that point. And our stop, depending on how you choose to enter, I would have entered, right breaking out of the box. I usually kind of jump the gun a little early, but that's just my personality. The stop would have been below this area, and if you wanted to give a little bit more room, you could have actually set it in the same spot here. So depending on how the order flow was coming in, I would have either put my stop just below this low, or I would have put my stop right down here where the last two stops were at. And most likely I probably would have drug it down here to this area. So the market continued sideways. We never did break the low of this box, so we're in the trade, and that actually went up to a nice full profit. So that would have been a good trade there. Market continues on with our uptrend. Once the market got up in here to this area, you can see we've made 3 attempts right here to push higher. And this is also, this area here is in the area of prior resistance back this way. You see the market had trouble here pushing higher as well. So now we see again the market's having trouble pushing higher. So that should tip us off that the market is getting ready for a trend change. So we stay out of the market at this point here. We don't want to jump the gun and go short right here at this level, because technically we are still in an uptrend, so we don't want to short right here. So that's not an acceptable block break short right there. The market then comes down, makes a low, makes a lower high, and then another low here, equal low, lower high. So at this point here, you can see these arrows here where I have marked for the lower highs. This sets us up for a downtrend. Our moving average is now turned red for our trending downward. We can see that the bears are definitely starting to take over the market, and at after we get a couple touches here on the bottom, I go ahead and I draw a box out into the future in case we start setting up a range, which we did set up a range. And we've got now 3 touches here at the bottom. And we got into this little red area here. This red area is where the U.S. equity market opens. When the U.S. equity market opens, we got new traders coming in. So it's an area where we may see a trend change. So we want to hold off trading a little bit until the see if the market's going to react to the U.S. market opening. Shortly after, though, we did get a breakout to the downside, so this was a nice trade here. Had you gotten in on this trade here, the entry, the actual entry, I would have probably got in on the break of the box, but the actual entry would have been right here in this area. Had you got in there, it would have been on this candle right here, this bearish candle. Had you got in there, your stop would have had to be up here. So, well within our 10 pip criteria. And it would have came down for a nice full profit. So that would have ended up being a good trade right there. The market, of course, come down here. Got another little area of indecision. Little block break right here to the long side. But since our trend is down, we skip that one. Then we end up making a higher low. We have another higher low here. Our trend is now green. So we have a very weak first break long setup here. I probably would have skipped it, but it would be a valid first break setup. Although, like I said, rather weak. Had you taken it, hopefully you would have got 2 or 3 pips before it reversed. But that's the way the market was, and by this time of the day you would realize that the market is not going anywhere fast, so your targets are going to have to be small. We ended up with a couple areas here where the market again ran into trouble, couldn't push any higher. We got kind of equal tops right here. So there again, we want to watch for trend changes when that happens. Market comes back down, comes into the news area. Again, just like the other news, at 8:30, shortly before the 10 o'clock news, we halt our trading. We don't initiate trades going into a news. So that's the area marked off here in red. This is a no trade zone. The news came out, and of course, spiked up, immediately retraced all the way. At this point, we're just waiting for the market to settle to see if we can get a trend direction again. After the news finally settled down, the market started again trending higher, and we've got a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low, come into an area of indecision. Nice little area to set up a possible block break or range break area. All right, and the actual break candle here, I would have entered probably on this little doji candle. So I would have been on this little tiny little candle there. But if you waited a little bit longer for confirmation, that would have been fine as well. Had you entered this one, I would have entered here. Most people probably would have entered here. Either way, your stop would have been below the box right here. And that trade would have worked out well. Again, if you notice, the market comes up and it makes equal tops again. And once we get this equal top area right here, there again, we want to start looking for a trend change. Because the market, again, it can't push any higher. And if we look, just like before, we got this area here. Where's it at? Right back where the other one was. So the market still can't push any higher. At that point, we start getting lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So now we want to start looking for short positions. We got another little block here. So a block break short. Could have got in here, grabbed actually quite a few pips on that one. Looks like it might have made it to full profit before it reversed. There again, like any other block break, you would have got in. I probably would have been in as soon as this candle closed, but the actual entry would have came here. Stop would have been just above the block. So 10 pip stop loss. Easily made the 10 pips coming back down. So that trade would have worked out well. And that puts us right into the 1045 range, which ends my trading day. So that's how I view the market. And I do the same thing every single day. I don't make any changes. So 8 o'clock, 1045, that's my trading day. And this is what Friday looked like. So I hope y'all enjoyed this little video. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. And have a good trading week.